Okay guys, so the iPhone 16 Pro just came out, and I know the question on everyone's mind is it good enough to replace your main camera for YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be putting this phone to the ultimate test here in my home studio. First, we're going to see exactly what the footage looks like straight out of camera, and then I'm going to switch things up by using the Blackmagic Camera app to shoot in ProRes Apple log, and I'll dial in the settings to see if this smartphone can really hold its own against my Sony cameras. So let's find out. Okay guys, first off, I feel like it's my responsibility to tell you that, I bought this iPhone 16 Pro. I bought the black version with 1 terabyte, and I had previously the iPhone 14 Pro, also the black version, and this phone looks exactly the same. Like, I had them next to each other the other day, and really the only difference is the camera control button and of course the action button that came on the iPhone 15 Pro. But I didn't actually have the iPhone 15. So for me, I really thought that there would be like a slight difference in how these phones look, but there's really not. So if you're expecting something to look or feel any different in your hand, it's really not gonna. It's pretty much exactly the same phone. However, I do know that the camera has made some significant leaps since the iPhone 14 Pro, which is my main reason for wanting to upgrade to this camera, because I know that it has 4K 120 FPS, which I really wanted. I also like the fact that it has that extreme 25x zoom. I've played around with that a little bit. And the biggest upgrade for me is that my iPhone 14 Pro didn't have the option to shoot an Apple log, and I really wanted to be able to use Apple log if, let's say, some content creation opportunity comes up. I'm out at an open house, maybe potentially I'm at some sort of event, and I needed a high quality video. I love the fact that I can just pull out my phone and I can capture high quality videos and B-roll and things like that just using my iPhone. So that's really exciting for me. Okay, so now we're going to switch over to the native camera app here in the iPhone. I'm going to show you guys how that'll look straight out of camera here with all my studio lights and everything else. All right, so this is what you get on the native camera app on the iPhone 16 Pro here in my studio setup. I like to use the rear facing cameras because I think we all know that the front facing camera on the iPhone is the worst camera that the phone has. So I like to try to get the highest quality I can out of this phone when I'm using it. And I am using an external microphone. I'm using the Rode NTG that is sitting here just outside of the frame. And if I was using the iPhone 16 Pro like this in a studio setting, I'm always going to use some sort of microphone. Again, I'm using the Rode NTG, but I'm going to let you hear right now what the built-in mic sounds like on the iPhone 16 Pro. Okay, so here's what the built-in microphone sounds like on the iPhone 16 Pro. Again, if I'm in a studio setting like this, I'm always going to use the Rode NTG or some other mic. And I think if I was out and about, say I was shooting a property or I was vlogging or something like that, I would probably use a wireless lavalier mic like these. This is the DJI Mic 2s. I have a video explaining how these work, but the way that I would use these is I would either use a third-party app like the Blackmagic Camera app, and I would connect this microphone directly to the app using Bluetooth. Then of course I would just put it on my shirt right here, or I could always use this receiver here, and this just goes via USB-C right into the bottom of the iPhone 16 Pro, and that'll go ahead and connect to the transmitters, and that way I could connect 2 transmitters or something like that depending on how many people are going to be in my video, and we would shoot that way. But I just don't see myself using the built-in mic that comes with the iPhone 16 Pro unless I was in a pinch and I had no other options. Okay, now you know what the footage looks like coming out of the native camera app on the iPhone 16 Pro. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open up the Blackmagic Camera app and I'm gonna use these settings. I'm gonna go 4K 24 frames per second. We'll change the shutter speed to 1/48 of a second, and we're gonna shoot in ProRes Apple log. Okay, so now we're in the Blackmagic app. I've dialed in all the settings and we're shooting in ProRes Apple log. So now I'm going to add the Rec 709 conversion LUT. I downloaded this right off the Apple website, and as you can see, that's adding color back into the video. Then from here, we're going to do a slight color grade, and this is going to be the final product coming out of the Blackmagic Camera app here on the iPhone 16 Pro. Okay, so here's a side-by-side of what we got out of the native camera app shooting on the iPhone 16 Pro versus when we switched over to the Blackmagic Camera app and we started shooting in Apple log. Why don't you guys let me know in the comments which version of this you like better. I'll tell you right now that I'm gonna like the log version better just because I want the most flexibility in post. It's always going to be more convenient to use the native camera app on the iPhone, especially now that they added the camera control button. All you got to do is press that and it brings up the native camera app on the phone. There's also a way that you can use the native camera app and also use ProRes Apple Log as well, which I didn't do in this example because I think in a studio setting I would always want to have the Blackmagic Camera app, because it just allows me to be able to set the shutter speed and the ISO and everything the way that I want it to be exactly. But I think if I was out and I seen something and I wanted to capture high quality video, I probably would just pull out the native camera app and I would turn on ProRes Apple Log and I would shoot it that way. Now I know some of you guys probably don't want to mess around with the Apple Log footage because it can be kind of a pain having to convert that log footage into something that actually has color and then have to color correct it and then color grade it. So what I did was I put together a quick tutorial to show you guys how you can color grade Apple Log footage inside of the CapCut desktop app. I'll go ahead and leave a link to that video in the description. There you have it, guys. Let me know in the comment section if you could see yourself using the iPhone 16 Pro as your main camera here on YouTube or Instagram or wherever you post your content. I really do appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you so much. And if you found it helpful, make sure to share it with your friends who you think might enjoy it. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys all on the next one.